Riveting content. Empowering your life. Welcome to the Sphere. This episode is sponsored by Houston Housewives of Finance. For more information on increasing your cash flow, becoming your own money manager, and to schedule your complimentary personal finance strategy, contact the Houston Housewives of Finance today at 1-844-700-4463.
The Sphere Network. Looking to advertise? Join the Sphere's vast demographic reach of thousands of people all over the world. Send an email today at advertise@thesphere.tv or call us at area code 832-772-7789. Elite Dental Wellness. At Elite Dental Wellness, Dr. Ashandra Baptiste understands that one of the biggest obstacles is dental fear. The vision at Elite Dental Wellness is to ensure every patient is treated with respect, ultimate care, patience, and love. Call us today to make an appointment at area code 713-789-8680.
What's up, good people? Welcome back to another episode of Technocrats. I'm your host, Gary Lee, also known as G. Hawkins. Of course, you can find me anywhere online, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snappity Chatting, at G. Hawkins, that's G. Hawkins with a Z, and I'm with my main man, Reem. Not Reem. With my main man, Jay. I'm calling you Reem. I'm thinking boom bap.
Yes.
My mind's stuck in hip-hop right now, man. I've had a hip-hop diet for like the last 48 hours.
Oh, okay.
Nothing but hip-hop. Even though I don't play it in the studio that often, hip-hop diet. Jay, what's up? What's going on, my man?
Oh, man, I'm feeling good. Had a good weekend. Ready to get started this week. A lot of different things going on in tech and news, and just glad to be back in the studio.
Yeah, same here. So I know last time, I like how things come to life on this show, Jay. We were mid-conversation last week, and we were talking about Black Panther, right?
Yes.
Giving his props and his due. And then you blessed us with an article from Popular Science about some of the technology that's wrapped into Black Panther. And some of the things were really, really cool, things that I think we will at some point be able to do. Let's hop into that.
Okay.
So, for those that are watching us right now, we've got this tuned in. We're going to put this up on the screens for you. Black Panther's technology, how it revolves around the Marvel Universe. So, for those that have seen the movie, make sure you chime in on Facebook. I see you, Barry. I see you, Deaudrey, I see you there as well. So, make sure, if y'all seen the movie, chime in on some of this technology that we're going to talk about. Jay, let's get into this, my man. What's going on here with the world of Wakanda and technology?
Well, it's interesting before we get into this how much this movie has been searched, man, across the web the last month and especially the last 2 weeks. And terms like vibranium and other things, who is the comic book artist, T'Challa, and they're all different names. Wakanda is all over the web, and people are trying to find where they can get the accurate information from. But we're going to talk about that here. But in this article here, they see the artist Del Freeze, who does some of the comic works. And a lot of these technology and things actually originate from his mind.
Yeah.
And I found that kind of interesting that our artists can understand the physics and other type of futurist type of technology, but he don't just draw it, but it seems so real as if this technology actually already exists. And it's like he can get to a whole nother dimension in his brain as if he's existed in a different time period. But he's putting on the canvas, for us to see it. And we believe it, that this true world of the Wakanda is a true world that actually exists. And the technology that stand out to me, I'm hoping that everyone in our community as a Technocrats has seen the movie by now, at least once or twice.
Hopefully.
Yeah, by now. But not to spoil it for those who are late goers, but go see the movie if you haven't. But the technology that stand out to me are the beads. Okay, the beads, the necklace bracelet that they wear, look like little balls that they have around their arm, but they wear it like fashionable. but it also can do a lot of different interesting, cool things that's in the movie. And I like the fact that it can link up to some type of wireless mesh high-speed network that's always constantly on. Then they can find them anywhere. And even you saw in the movie, they was out in a remote area of Wakanda. Even when they came from Africa, the continent, and into America, the thing was still able to sync up and link up. And also how they was able to use one of those beads to help someone who needed medicine, someone who got shot, a gun wound in the back. They stuck the little ball in to keep the person alive for a time period. So that's some really cool technology, but what do you think it is?
Let's touch here for a quick second. And we want to show we're going to show you on the article, there's an image down toward the bottom for those that are watching us online right now that actually talks about some of the bead technology, and which includes a prime bead, which I thought was really, really cool, right? So this first bead, it's given to you at birth, and it keeps your healthcare information.
Yes.
So you get all your statistics. It's monitoring your health. And as you see, there's some additional beads. Obviously, the audio video bead for capturing and playback of video. And of course, the communication bead for being able to use sign language, which I thought was really, really cool.
Yes.
So it's doing tracking of your hands and movements, as well as voice voice to text speech as well. And as you mentioned, man, just the opportunities that something like this could manifest. We often talk about, for those that are watching right now, for those that are listening to us, you're in your car listening, you already know we've had conversations time and time again about what technology is going to look like in the near future, right?
Yes.
About the death of the smartphone. We're moving to glasses, and just continuing the conversation surrounding things that are going to come up in our lifetime and become this primary piece of technology. What better way to make it primary than to make it wearable? Mm-hmm. We've already said how easy it is to put it on and it's there versus pulling it in and out of your pocket. So when I think about the beads, I'm glad you hopped directly to it. I thought it was something that would be really, really cool. Being able to do home and personal security, geo-tracking, all kinds of stuff that I could actually see happening. It's just having the design cue to say, I'm going to take this silicone and put it in this form factor of a bead. You could do that today with the chips being so small, and you may not necessarily have it look as eccentric as what we've saw, but the other beads could act as batteries. So now you've just got spherical batteries that are connected to it. So technically, somebody could build this today with some of this feature set if they really just wanted to. Right.
And the thing that I like how in the comic book and from the artist's mind, how this stuff, how he fuels his tech is by vibranium, this metal that's from another planet, that's extraterrestrial, so to speak. But in essence, how it's able to charge and energize and be a power source for these type of technology devices that they have. But I think about it, too, that this individual is kind of like a futurist to me in the sense of Gene Roddenberry from Star Trek. As we have the slates and the tablets and we have the iPhones, things today, and a lot of things he had for transportation and also things for us in medicine, doing research to test certain patients and also growing different things of food. And also speed. So we see these people who are visionaries are outstanding. They definitely have an imprint into the history and also in our future. But I'm starting to realize that this movie did so many things because when you think about the technology, especially in engineering, you want collaboration. Yeah. You want both genders to be involved. You want as many races to be involved. And you want people with different backgrounds or different types of experiences or people from different type of, financial standings to be involved too, because that all helps shapes the product. And when you see now finally from a perspective from someone that's not necessarily the norm, speaking on technology, also with the fashion. The movie has some, it looked nice,
Very much so.
Yeah,
very much
the fashion and the tech, put together. But the tech wasn't so, I don't want to say, so extent that it really just took over themselves, being on their arms as the bracelets, but also the thing with the necklace and the sneakers. That was something cool I like too, that his little sister came up with. And we all think like, wow, this is so far off. But these little things, don't you think when people see these, it inspire the youth today who's going to be coming up in the future for going into computer science, going into physics?
Definitely inspires them. And here's the funny part, right? We for those that are tuned in, we're not that far away from this technology, Jay. Right? They're talking we have nanotechnology today. Right. Nano, that is true to life form. We have that technology today. So for those who remember the part of the movie where T'Challa does step into those sneakers and they form over his feet. Yeah, now and they can absorb sound and things like that. We have the technology to do something very similar today. The cost is high right now, which is why it's not commercialized or mainstream or for recreational use or anything like that. But we have nanotechnology today. Now, we haven't found vibranium. At least we don't know that we found vibranium.
Right, exactly.
But when you talked about it earlier, you're talking about kinetic energy absorption. We don't have anything that can absorb and store and then push back kinetic energy, but that's how vibranium works. So it's simply finding a mineral or some type of material that can absorb energy and then store it, capacitor, and then reproject that same energy. We've got the building blocks to make that work already, and that's the beauty of this, right?
Yes.
So we're seeing things that come to life on the screen that literally live in our culture today in just small little doses here and there. And all this great artist has done, Brian Stelfreeze, has literally taken those concepts and meshed them together to say, we could have done this. And overall, I love the fact that you're seeing what happens to a place that is not colonized, that takes advantage of the technological influences internally, people's dreams and aspirations, and they put those things together based on the materials that they have. Plus, when you look at like some of the spaceships that they have, they mimic birds.
Right.
You look at some of the when they've intertwined technology into a lot of the art and drawings and things like that. So you see it on the wall when the colonizer was waking up. You see parts of the wall that has the traditional painting of
their
people,
culture,
of the culture that's surrounded and engulfed in technology. I don't think you get anything better, and I think that that's a true representation of what we can expect Africa to look like had it not been colonized, because all the natural minerals, the things needed to make cell phones work, can only be found in Africa. All the rest of the minerals that the world needs, from lumber to wood, I mentioned this on the last show, rubber, diamonds, gold, everything that we need as a world to survive is, from a mineral perspective or resource, is found in Africa. Oil, everything we need.
Right. And you know what? Sad to say, pretty much every other country needs to leverage and exploit Africa to keep its economy system going.
Yep. Because if Africa was to close the doors today, America, Russia, China,
Britain, UK, the whole UK, everybody
would fall.
Yeah, it would. Yeah. If they were to say, hey, we're going to take over this, if it was not symbolize the movie, but do that, it's over. This game is over.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree wholeheartedly. But I love it. For those that are tuned in, make sure you check that article out over at Popular Science in regards to the tech that can be found in this Marvel universe surrounding Black Panther.
Yes. So as we saw Black Panther, this technology is very expensive. And in order to afford things like that, you have to have your budgets. And that's what this portion of the show is sponsored by Houston Housewives of Finance. Did you know that only 4 states in the United States offer financial education? 33%, or more than 77 million of Americans, don't pay their bills on time. 39% of Americans carry credit card debt from month to month. And 39% of adults say they don't have enough savings. Don't become one of these statistics. Let Houston Housewives of Finance advise you on increasing your cash flow and becoming your own money manager by scheduling your complimentary personal financial strategy. Contact Houston Housewives of Finance today at 1-844-700-4463 or email us at info@houstonhousewivesoffinance.com. Ask us how you can participate in a complimentary financial literary workshops near you. Houston Housewives of Finance are the new faces of the new age of financial services.
There it is. So contact those ladies today. Now, before we get any further into this, Facebook, it's about that time. We love to have y'all tuned in, and we appreciate your comments and things like that. But, of course, you've got to go subscribe. So head over to the sphere.tv/Technocrats, and we've got a couple of options for you. You can find us on SoundCloud. You can find us on Google Play, iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker. You can find us on iHeartRadio now, of course, on YouTube. And while you're there, make sure you hit that share button and share this out with your family, your friends, your colleagues. Share with your loved ones. Share with anyone and everyone that you know that needs this insight on technology. Of course, also, give us that constructive criticism. We want to know how we're doing. If we're creating a great show for you that's continuing to keep you captivated and moving your technological soul around. And last but not least, if you love what we're doing, sow a seed. Go over to sphere.tv/donate. We've got a couple of options for you. You can donate right on the website one time, or you can donate via Patreon and be a subscription donator to get exclusive content. So, and of course, we got so much other stuff coming down the pipe here at the Sphere. We're only getting started deep into episode 91, but trust and believe we've got some great things coming your way. So, Facebook Livers, we love you, but make sure you head over and tune in right here at the Sphere. So, Jay, let's keep this party rolling.
Yes.
Next up to bat, Samsung Galaxy S9. Oh my, oh my, oh my. But I will say this, good sir.
Yes.
I don't know if I'm excited about smartphones anymore. So, I mean, let's talk about it. March 2nd, Samsung, for those that are Droid users, Android users, for those that are team I hate iPhone, whatever you are, you've got obviously the next iteration of Samsung, which is arguably, and I say this with a fevered tongue, Jay, arguably the Android flagship phone, because I think most people either say get a Samsung or get an iPhone. They're not thinking of all the iterations of Apple, of Android phones that have been out there, let alone all the options you have at that same time. But it's either Galaxy S whatever or it's the iPhone. It used to be the Note as well until that started blowing up. Right. And then people were like, I ain't putting no bombs in my pocket. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. But March 2nd, folks, $720 for the regular S9, $720, so $719, or $839 for the S9 Plus for those that like the bigger phone. Coming March 2nd, and that's going to be available as well as unlocked version for those that want to take it overseas or you don't want to be locked to a particular carrier. So you're going to have some options for this particular phone. The question that everybody wants to know, Jay, is one, is it going to be able to replace their iPhone? For those that did not like the iPhone X, can they move over to the Samsung S9? And obviously that, it's you're comparing, no pun intended, apples and oranges. Right. That's a little deep. But, for the 5.8-inch Quad HD, for your 12 megapixel camera, dual megapixel camera on the rear, which is giving you some additional low light goodies, so to speak. Yes. Snapdragon 845, and your standard 4 gigs or 6 gigs, depending on which version you get. I don't know if this. I'm not excited. But do you think people are people having a need to move away from iPhone?
You know what? I think at this point, the smartphone game is just saturated, and you're just getting new people who probably like youth coming into the game who have money now, or people who got credit now trying to get a phone. I'm just honestly not trying to be negative. What I mean by saying that is that, like you touched on earlier, the excitement is just not there to me. It's like, bam, every year. I think people need to start questioning: is every year too soon of a refresh or a new cycle, release? What do you think? You think?
Man, for a $900 handset, I think every year is too much. I think we don't save money as it is.
Yeah,
let alone when it comes to technology. Everybody wants the latest and greatest.
Right.
I have no desire to upgrade my cell phone, my phone, and hold my feet to the fire for those that have tuned in for quite some time. I had the OnePlus 5 and I upgraded to the OnePlus 5T. Only because I want to upgrade to the T, and it only cost me like $100 because I ended up selling my other device on eBay. So I took the money, added $100, boom, did an upgrade. But I have no desire or need to upgrade my phone.
Right.
And these yearly release cycles,
Yeah.
and you're not really making significant changes. Everything looks the same. I can't tell the difference between this S9 and the S8.
Right.
Right. It's the same phone to
And
me.
I mean, once you get to 4K, it's 4K. And
Come
to me,
on.
And the screen size or whatever, I mean, or I just don't see anything. It's like most of it's a gimmick to me and play on words for marketing.
Exactly.
And I don't see anything significant that make me feel like, hey, it's time for me to turn this phone in or go buy a new one. And that was the problem. I guess we'll talk about a little later about another company who missed the mark last year.
I mean, and that continues to happen.
Yeah.
We could go into specs all day, but the things people are waiting on, the real techies are waiting on, this phone does not have yet. Doesn't have the on-screen fingerprint reader, so you're still reaching your finger around to the back.
Oreo.
Oh,
You don't do it.
well,
I don't think it comes loaded with Oreo.
It comes with Oreo.
Because I thought
Finally.
Samsung phone usually
They're
don't be
usually
like
a
one
rev
plus-
behind.
Yeah, they behind.
So,
Google
but
Pixel,
Oreo's been out for a good amount of time. But it does say it comes with Android 8 Oreo for those that are concerned about making sure you have the most up-to-date version of Android on your phone. Now, obviously, you're still going to be at the carrier's mercy to getting those updates past Oreo, and of course, at Samsung's mercy from a packaging perspective. But I mean, IP80, 86.
Yeah.
3,500 milliamp battery for the big. I mean, it's the same
It's the
stuff
same- it's-
over and over again.
Design looks the same as the last
Identical.
year's. Yeah, identical. And I'm sorry, I just like at this point now, 8, 9, 10 phones is just.
I mean, I will say that they're giving you a new camera, dual aperture on the back. Supposedly that'll handle your low lights a lot better. You hear that something always comes out every year. Bigger apertures,
Right.
now dual apertures that'll handle lighting. But at some point, a photo is a photo, man.
And I was just about to say that. And you really see that big of a difference as they want you to say that you will experience. And I mean, you're gonna have to have an SLR. I mean, to really get the light, to get the kind of quality you
Yeah.
want. It's nice that phone can do it, but I mean, I'm even at the point, Gary. I don't even use hardly any apps anymore. I mean, think about it. A lot of apps. You remember at first we explored. It was more explored.
All
with
we
apps.
did was use apps.
Oh, you heard about the new app?
Yeah.
Get this out. Do this.
Yeah,
so-and-so.
I need this. I need that.
Now, I'm gonna ask you honestly in the daily. I'll ask you this after we mention our sponsor.
Sure.
This portion of the show is sponsored by the Spear.
How about that?
Are you starting your business and looking for a place to advertise? Do you have a need to reach out to thousands of people across the world to build your brand or sell your product? If so, get your product placement and advertising needs handled right here at the Spear. We offer a wide variety of content, delivery platforms, including iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, and Stitcher. Plus, we have a vast demographic reach within the United States, as well as monitoring countries across the globe. Our rich content and inspiring dialogue, coupled with your strategic ad, is sure to hit the mark every time. Call us today at area code 832-772-7789 or send an email over to advertise@thesphere.tv.
Good deal. There it is. So you were about to make a comment.
Oh, yeah. So I was going to ask you a question, Gary.
Sure, I'm here.
Okay. I'm going to say weekly. I'm going to say daily. About how many different apps do you interact or go back and forth with on your smartphone? Your
Let
OnePlus
me
5T?
open up my phone. So
Okay.
I always start my morning off looking through my finances. I
Okay.
may use maybe 2 or 3 apps from Chase, Amex, PayPal, and I'm usually buying something daily from a business perspective for the studio on Amazon. So I'm using that. I use the Inbox app for Google religiously. I use Chrome. I use the phone app, and maybe not even daily because I don't do phone calls every day.
Yeah.
Google Play Music I use daily. My calendar app I use religiously. Security apps like Vivint, I use that. My Hue app to control bulbs. I use Slack every day, meaning it's the only app on my phone that's not in a folder. It's literally there.
Okay.
That's how often I use Slack. Text message, Facebook Messenger, Instagram probably, Facebook itself, Outlook app. So I would say
25.
August app, I probably use roughly about 20 apps a day.
Okay.
Over the week, it may boost up to 30. And, there's another 10 or so that I'm going to use sparingly, but about 20 apps.
Okay. Another question for you on your smartphone. About how much storage capacity do you have in that phone, not counting the cloud?
I've got 128 gigs on here. I'm probably about halfway full, and that's because of music. Because I download albums that I like, so I keep them local.
Yes.
But that's the only reason why I have that storage.
Okay. So basically, you only using 25, 30 hours tops
Mm-hmm.
on a daily. And also you're using about 64 gigs
Mm-hmm.
of storage. So as they keep having these upgrade intervals, it's going to come a time to where we can see that people are going to start using more practicality.
Sure.
And the market, these companies, Samsung and Apple, going to say, wait a minute, people are not renewing up as we expect them to do.
Yeah.
And these life cycles are getting more extended.
Get out
on
my
our devices.
pockets.
Yeah, that's it. And I'm same here. I don't know how to use when I first got the phone, I remember I had pages and pages and pages of apps.
Yeah.
I don't really touch that many apps at all. I'm probably about the same amount as you, a little bit more still now. But it's nowhere near what it used to be.
Yeah, no.
And it used to be an excitement. Remember how it used to be?
I got to install this app.
Remember it used to be exciting.
I got 200 apps on my phone.
It used to be exciting. Go to the app store. Oh, you can do this with this app and other kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even there no more. It's like.
We're past that.
Yeah, it's gone. So we can see, the point I'm trying to make is we can see the trend that the smartphone is going to be dead soon.
Yeah.
You can see it.
Yeah. And people, they better do something. Some of these companies better do something. Speaking of which, as you alluded to earlier, it looks like we're starting to have some issues or some changes in philosophy with one of these particular vendors. And that's, of course, are our people over at Apple. So Apple plans for one, they're going with the X Plus, baby. And then two, they're going back to their old school model of having a lower price version of their iPhone. Jay, let's walk us through this. What's going on here with Apple?
All righty. So Apple didn't do too well, as we touched on early episodes, they didn't meet the expectations for the iPhone X.
Mm-mm.
And so when a new consumer came and it was up for a new phone or upgrade, they was like, okay, do I want to spend that much $1,000+ for the iPhone X? But what other alternatives I have? I have an iPhone 8 that's so significantly less features, and it's not really too much farther from the price, but it's not giving the bang for my buck. So a lot of people actually defected. More people in this iteration release defected from Apple to Google Android.
How about that?
Yes. So Apple started to realize, and other people like, hey, we need to come back and do something to try to gain these people and make sure we meet our sales for this year, 2018. So Apple is releasing a giant iPhone. Okay. They're not using the terminology Samsung came up with, phablet, but it's going to be in that area and that size. I think it's going to be over 6.5 inches.
6.5 inches.
A lot. And I'm like, okay.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, crazy.
So-
But here,
do people understand how big that is?
Man.
Okay. Think about a Subway sandwich, 6-inch sandwich.
Here's the funny part, though. I think one of the reasons why they can get away with this is because they've decreased their bezels so much, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you're getting more. That's screen real estate, and there's not much more past that. If I measured my phone right now, I wish I had a ruler in the other studio, but I'm pretty sure my phone from top to bottom is roughly about 6 inches for those that are watching us right now. It's roughly about 6, maybe 6.25 inches with the case. So I'm accustomed to holding 6 inches already.
Right.
But I'm just not accustomed to seeing 6 inches in the screen, or in this case, 6.5 inches.
Well, it's probably going to increase more than that because the screen is the 6.5.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
you're going to have another
the
little
plus
bezel
the
part.
little quarter-inch case that goes around it to protect it. You're looking at about 8.5 inches, 8.5 inches in your hand. No, you're looking at about 7.
But yeah,
about 7
probably a good 7 inches.
Yeah, in your
you're probably
hand.
gonna add another half an inch between, depending on what kind of case you
Right.
get. Don't go with one of them tough. What do they
That's what I'm
call the
talking
ones
about.
that you
A
can
life,
drop?
life
from
hack, a
the-
light proof,
Yeah.
or out of box.
Yeah, them out of box
Oh my goodness,
disaster
that thing,
cases,
yeah.
zombie apocalypse case. But I'm concerned. I feel like Apple is reaching for straws on this one.
They are.
Now, I think that it does make sense to make a less expensive phone, because you could build a phone without all the bells and whistles that parents are going to flock to for their kids, to say, I don't mind buying my kid a $400 phone because you've already put the price point up at $900, $1,000 for the iPhone X. So if they've got a half cost alternative, you're going to have a lot of people flock, just like what happened when they released the colors, the iPhone 5Cs at the time. People who ever didn't want to spend the $600, $700, $800 for the 5 got the $399 5C or $499 5C and was happy to go with that because they were able to shave a couple of $100, and they didn't need all the better camera. They didn't need the all the upgraded feature sets that they found in a more expensive phone. I think that's an option that has worked in the past, and I think it's something they should consider, not just going to a bigger phone because they can do it.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Yeah, I just feel like, not to be lacking enthusiasm, it's just that Apple needs to really go ahead and get them glasses out. Yeah, that's really what they need to come on with come on with them augmented reality glasses and get back to the drawing board, because I think they have beat this horse to death.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the new iPhone.
You need a
Yeah.
new form factor
Yeah.
at this point,
Yeah.
or you need to radically change. You need to radically change the current design of the iPhone, which means it needs to be something totally different. Go to a bracelet model or wrap around. It needs to be something so different that everybody else follows suit. Even right now, I noticed I was when I was preparing for the show, I was looking at some articles earlier, and that I didn't think were quality enough to make it. But I saw some articles like Huawei and some other phone manufacturers are making phones that have that same little notch at the top as an iPhone X. And I'm like, why are y'all still following suit in these patterns as if this is popular? It's not popular anymore. They're not innovative. So I think you hit the head on the nail. Give us some glasses. Give us something different that coincides with the phone, not just a watch peripheral, which by all means Apple's iWatch is Apple Watch is the best watch wearable available to date. But come on, I would love some glasses.
Speaking of the wearable, we got to talk about the Fossil next gen Generation 3 watch one day.
I hadn't seen it. Did something drop?
Yeah, it's really nice.
Okay.
It's really nice. I want to see how that does in sales in comparison to iWatch. Apple Watch in a bit, but it's really nice. You see, it's a really nice watch. So I want to look at it.
Nice.
Yeah, it's kind of nice.
Yeah.
So, I was thinking about getting one.
Decent
so,
price point,
yeah.
too. Does it work for iOS as well as
Yes,
Android?
it does. Yes, it does.
Huh.
So I was thinking about getting one of those.
Okay. I may be an upgrade from my Huawei.
Yeah.
Because I like my Huawei watch, but I would love to go to... I wouldn't mind checking out this Fossil.
Isn't it nice? It's
not
nice.
too bad.
It's nice. Yeah.
Huh. How about
Yeah.
that? We may talk about it next week. I may
Yeah.
get one.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to get one. But it does look nice.
Yeah.
I will. Matter of fact, it look a lot like my Huawei. I may have to take a look at that.
Yes.
Thank you, Jay.
Yes,
I
you want
appreciate it.
traditional smart.
So-
There you go.
Let's hop into our last article of the day, and something that I want to talk about in our digital trends. Now, for those that have been following us for a while, we like to talk digital trends, things that are coming down the pipe. This one particular thing that has been creeping up on us is electric cars. And guess what? BMW has said, and I think this is the right move, that it plans to start building electric minis in China. So for those that are watching right now, you can see this on the screen. And BMW has made the financial move to say, you know what? There's an area that's asking for more electric vehicles, right? Right down the street, is Germany at over 500,000 cars last year, which is well more than the U.S. combined with 35,000 minis. So China's growing at an exponential rate with people, with citizens, and we've already had these conversations about pushing forward electric vehicles at a high rate in European and other areas, in other markets. So BMW has stepped up to the plate, and they're saying that by 2022, they should be building their next generation cars, and China's that market, starting as early as 2019 for their minis, trying to get out the main factory that's over in UK for production perspective. So I'm excited, Jay, to see China get these electric minis as early as 2019 coming out of the UK factory. I'm excited to see what things look like past 2020. What I'm curious about, though, is will this put more pressure on the U.S. version of BMW to say, not only am I going to implement this in China, not only do I see growth in perspective in the UK, right, in Germany and other European places, am I going to bring this technology to the United States, which is obviously still pro-oil, but vastly growing wiser about electric vehicles?
I think BMW should have been one of the trendsetters, have been early on, knowing their history, who they are, and how their cars have appeal globally. This should have been something that they jumped on, but I just want to touch on that you said 2019.
Sure.
It's amazing how the technology has gotten since Tesla Motors to the point to where I can say right now in 2018 or late 2017 that I want to build a car, and I can have it out in 2 years.
Pretty much. Because now they understand if I can when Tesla built their electric vehicle, they cut out 10,000 parts. 10,000. So you literally cut out most of the moving parts in a car, the wear and tear parts, all that stuff was gone. And now you're left with a frame, axles, small electric motor, one-speed transmission, so you don't have to worry about service there for the most part. And that's really it. You've built a life-size version of a remote control car.
Right. Exactly.
So, outside of windows and door handles, which we've already perfected, that kind of stuff, sunroofs or not, you've taken out the most complex parts. So now you should be able to create in an instant what used to take you years in research and development. So what bothers me, though, is the money part, Jay.
Okay.
Is the big companies like a BMW, like a Chevy, like a Ford, the big companies that are here, like a Volvo, which is a subsidiary of Ford, like a Mazda or Infiniti or Honda, actually letting go of the dollar associated to oil and saying, I'm willing to go electric because it's going to be a better product from a long-term perspective, and I can start to get my customers over here and not lose profits. If you stop worrying about the profits, then you can let the technology move forward. But everybody's still concerned about making $1 billion a quarter on oil. That's a problem.
It has to be the demand. It has to be the demand. I think what's going to happen is going to be so many people there and the suppliers, but it's going to definitely require a higher demand to get more people to start getting involved in the game. I'm just happy to see BMW at least stepping up to the plate in another city. I would love to see. You remember we talked a dozen episodes ago. We talked about Norway, like banning. I think it was Norway banning gasoline engines in like 2025. Like you can no longer buy any more gas. Like we need those type of policies pushed elsewhere, so we can. See the adoption of electric vehicles, because now we know that they work, right? Tesla just dropped their latest vehicle, does 600 plus miles to the full charge. 600. That's their Roadster. Yes.
Like, come on, B.
Yes.
We don't need gasoline anymore.
Right.
We just don't.
Right.
It's unnecessary. So, speaking of things that are unnecessary, it's unnecessary for you to go without getting your teeth clean, okay? How about that? So this particular portion of the show is sponsored by Elite Dental Wellness. At Elite Dental Wellness, our vision is to create a welcoming practice that will offer exceptional dental care and a lifetime of dental wellness. We're committed to the finest possible oral care and the overall health and well-being of our patients. Elite Dental Wellness is built upon a foundation of integrity, expertise, and service. Through our commitment to modern dentistry, continuing education, and a friendly atmosphere, we strive to make our patients feel that they are part of our family. Dentistry can be scary, daunting, and uncomfortable, but Dr. Pertise and her team work tirelessly to ensure your comfort. Make your dental appointment today with Dr. Chandra Batiste at Elite Dental Wellness by calling area code 713-789-8680. And remember to say the Sphere so you can receive 10% off. That could be a lot of money, folks.
Mm-hmm.
You get a $4,000 or $5,000 case, you're saving $400 or $500 off of your services. So contact Elite Dental Wellness today.
Yes.
So, Jay, that wraps it up. Good folks that are tuned in, let us know what you think. Shoot us an email. Are you pro electric cars going into China by BMW, rocking their mini series? How do you feel about the Samsung S9 and S9 Plus? How you feel about Apple creating another big iPhone, aka phablet, and also having a lower price model? And of course, we want to know what you think about this Black Panther technology for those that have seen the movie.
Yes.
Jay, where can the good people reach you at?
Y'all continue to hit me up on Instagram, Twitter at AstroTesla80, or just simply email me at inquiries@astrotesla.com.
Boy said inquiries,
Yes.
plural. So make those inquiries
Yes.
with
Yes.
Jonathan Davis.
Yes.
Do that. And of course, you can reach us here at the Sphere Technocrats at the Sphere TV, or hit us across social media platforms at the Sphere TV. Use our hashtag Technocrats. You can reach me directly across all social media at G Hawkins. That's G Hawkins with a Z at the end. This has been another great episode of Technocrats. We will see you all next time. Take care.